Okay guys, I'm going to show you today a real simple method of cooking if you're limited on time, or if you're away, if you go to work early and you want dinner ready when you get home. I'm going to show you guys how to make some really awesome crock pot recipes over the next couple of weeks that are low carb and super healthy. Basically, crock pot is a slow cooker. What you do is you prepare your recipes early in the morning when you get up. You know, you put them in, I like to saute them first, especially like the meats and chicken and stuff like that. I like to brown them a little bit. Some people will throw them straight into the crock pot. I don't like to do that because I feel like it just boils the meat and it kind of drains a lot of the juice, and it doesn't give it the really nice saute flavor. So I like to saute the vegetables and whatever I'm using to flavor first, along with the meat, and then throw them in the crock pot and let them simmer over time with water. So let's say if you're going to work early in the morning, what you would do is you chop these vegetables here. What we're doing here is we're going to do like a beef stew with coconut milk type of curry stew, low carbohydrates. None of these vegetables or anything in here is a starch that we're using, so everything's high fiber, low fat, high protein, and very low carbohydrates. What we have here, this is actually a really lean cut of meat. It's kind of tough, so you want to use it for crock pot. You don't want to use it for steaks or anything like that. And this is a mock tender roast, used for pot roast and things like that, as you can see there. It's $3.69 per pound, so great price. Very low fat, as you can see. Doesn't have a lot of fat. So what I'll do is I'll take it and I'll kind of cube it, and then I'll saute it first with some garlic, olive oil, and peppers and onions, and I'll throw it in a skillet and kind of cook it like maybe like a quarter of the way, something like that, just to brown it on the outside. You know, just to give it some nice flavor. I'm going to cut them in pieces about that big, and then I'm going to saute them off and throw them in our crock pot after they're sauteed. So basically, I'm going to cut them like that. It's got some fibers in there. You want to cut all this up nice. So basically, once you're done cutting that, we're going to come over here and first get our skillet or pan ready. I'm using an electric skillet as usual here because I am at work in the office, and I don't have a stove here. So it goes to show you, there's really no excuses. You can buy yourself one of these little electric skillets if if you're able to have your own space at work, and you can actually cook your own meals on one of these. And they're about 20 bucks at Walmart. So basically you can do this anywhere. So I'm gonna drop about a tablespoon of olive oil in there, and I'm using olive oil today just because of the flavor factor. I just like it to saute when I'm using garlic and stuff like that. I like garlic oil. I like to use olive oil, but coconut oil is better for the health, but it's just olive oil has a little bit better flavor for this recipe. So basically, I'm gonna finish cutting my meat over here while that's heating up. This is real simple because basically you can just leave it. You can leave it, go to work, come back, and this will be super tender and it will be cooked. Your stew will be done, super healthy, and then you can take some of it in a Tupperware to lunch. You can have it, come home, have it for dinner, and then take some in a Tupperware, and you leave it on the low setting of the crock pot when you're gonna be if you're gonna be 7 or 8 hours away. If you want it to be done faster, like let's say 4 hours or something like that, then you put it on high, and it will be done in probably 3 to 4 hours. So okay, so basically now that our oil's hot, we're gonna drop our garlic here, and this is kind of like a shortcut garlic. Normally, if I'm just being a little bit lazy, I like to use real garlic most of the time, but this is a squeezed garlic. It comes minced already, so it's faster. You know, you do less work, but there's nothing like real garlic to use for your recipes. I can grab my tongs here. I'll toss that around a little bit in the olive oil. And you know, for any recipe, you know, one of the big secrets of cooking is natural garlic. It makes food taste so much better. The smell, it's just unbelievable how good it smells when you use garlic and oil in your recipes. So basically, you're gonna just kind of saute that, brown the garlic there, and then you're gonna drop your peppers and onions in there. I'm gonna saute those there for a couple of minutes. And medium-high heat is what you want to have it on. Toss that around. We also have here some no salt added diced tomatoes. And this is going to make like a type of salsa in there. I'm going to drop that in next. For you Cubans and Dominicans out there, we call this sofrito. You know, this is our seasoning, but it's basically just to flavor the meat or the food that you're making. And it's nothing like making it fresh, for those of you that do know. We're going to drop some of the diced garlic, diced tomatoes in there. Gonna mix them up with our peppers and onions and garlic. This is gonna give a lot of flavor to the meat before it's put into the crock pot. So it's kind of like almost like a little stir fry there first, and then we're gonna drop it in the water to cook off. So the meat is going to seal in those juices and stuff like that, and get a lot of the flavor from this stir fry here. So there's some fat on there and one that in there. And now we're going to throw the meat in there. I'm going to brown it off. There's another thing that I really like a lot is this is jerk curry. Or curry seasoning. Curry is really good for your health, for your metabolism, and a bunch of other things. It's good for inflammation. You know, it's all around great spice to use in your food for overall health. You know, from a health standpoint, it's a great spice to get to using. And if you like it, you might as well use a lot of it. Got a little bit of sea salt in here. You guys will notice that I always use sea salt. Sea salt is the natural form, and it doesn't have all the chemicals and things added that you do when you buy commercial salt. So it's a great replacement. As much as, you know, natural whole foods as you can get, the better. You want to try to get things in their natural state with the least chemicals and things added to it, preservatives and things like that. So I try to go as close as organic as I can. Here I have some coconut milk, and this is going to be used in the crock pot to kind of thicken the stew, to make it a little creamier. It's going to give it a lot more flavor. And this is some bouillon, some beef bouillon. I'm going to add this to the water to give it a little bit more beef flavor. And over here I have some chopped up mushrooms, some shredded carrots, and some celery, some extra texture. And then here I have some cilantro, cilantro is awesome, great antioxidant, really good as far as nutrients and vitamins and things like that, and it adds an amazing flavor. If you guys have ever had like pico de gallo or things like that in the Mexican restaurants, what gives it a lot of that flavor is the cilantro. It's really a very flavorful herb. It tastes awesome, so you guys want to try that out. Some really good stuff. So I'm going to take my cube bouillon here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to break it up with a fork. I'm going to add water to it, and then I'm going to throw it in the crock pot. If you throw this in the crock pot like that in one piece, it's just going to be chunked up, and somebody's going to end up getting a big piece of bouillon in their spoon, and it's not going to taste very good. So you want to first break it up before you do anything else with it. Okay, so we add some water to it. I'm going to mash it like that. I'll dissolve it in the water. I use warm water here, or I use cold water, which is making it not break down so easy. Right. So basically you want to dissolve it in the water, not use it in chunks, so it doesn't stay in a chunk. Okay, so we're going to set that aside, finish breaking it up, we'll set it aside, and now we're going to do our cilantro. Show you guys real quick. It's pretty simple. Basically you're going to take your cilantro, and cilantro you can pretty much use everything. You just got to make sure you dice it up real good if you're going to use it, because there's some stems that are, depending on how old the plant is, you're going to have some bigger stems. Actually I need to use a different cutting board for this. And I need to change my knife. Okay, so basically, I'm take that, chop it up real fine. If you guys don't have a lot of experience with a knife, don't cut that close to your finger, so you will lose a finger. So kind of just, learn how to use a knife. It's something that you can use for the rest of your life. It's a skill that you will benefit. If you want to get in great shape, there's no way around it. Unless you're rich and you can afford a personal chef or a dietitian or nutritionist to come cook for you every day, you have to learn how to cook. I cannot stress enough how important it is to learn how to make your own meals. And if you just know how to boil chicken breast and boil vegetables and broccoli, unless you have no taste buds and you don't mind eating, some boring food every day, you're gonna have to learn a couple of good recipes that you like. Now, there's people out there, I have friends that are able to eat boiled chicken every day and they don't care. They eat food for calories and they have no problem with that. If you're in one of the few that is gifted with no taste buds, then that's awesome, great. But if you're like most normal people, you're not going to be able to eat the same boring, bland, unflavored food every day. So you can enjoy this lifestyle, eat great tasting food. It doesn't have to taste bad to be healthy. There's like this food right here. I've never eaten food that I don't like. The foods that I make are great for you. They're light, and most people can't even tell the difference. So you want to make sure that you learn how to cook and how to put recipes together. And the more you do it, the more familiar you will be with what tastes good with what. And you have to get creative. It's all a lifestyle. You got to learn how to enjoy how to cook. So you can do things like this. So basically, over here we have the beef just about ready to be put in the crock pot. And we're going to drop that in there next. Over here we have our electric crock pot. These are pretty cheap. You can buy them anywhere. Walmart, 20, 30 bucks, maybe even cheaper. They have some really nice ones that are bigger, and you can cook ahead of time and put your food aside for like the week if you want. And you can freeze some of these recipes. Okay guys, so basically here we have a water in the crock pot that I had heating. Is probably about 2 or 3 cups of water. Basically the idea is you want to have use pretty much all the crock pot, make as much food out of the space that you got, and then save it for the rest of the week. Either freeze it or keep it in Tupperware for a couple of days in the refrigerator, so you got your meals ready. It's no use in cooking, you know, 1 or 2 meals and turning the crock pot and putting all this stuff in it, and then, you know, you did all that work and effort and you got yourself 1 or 2 meals. The idea is to cook yourself plenty of food and prep ahead of time, so you got meals for the rest of the week or the next couple of days. You can freeze some of this in Tupperwares, like I said, and then just microwave it, or you can just put it in the refrigerator and it will stay good for at least 3 or 4 days fresh, even more than that. So basically I'm going to take our beef broth that we had set up from the cubes. I'm going to drop that into that water here. Okay, and we're going to stir that up. Put some of the water back in here to kind of, so we don't waste that there. Okay, so I'm going to put that back in there, stir it up, and we're going to take our vegetables next. We had set aside. I'm going to drop those in there. Now when you're doing this, make sure you do it slowly, because the water in there is already pretty hot and it will burn you if it splashes you. So just gonna do it slowly. Drop that in there. These are basically our vegetable base there. Next we're going to take our cilantro. I'm going to drop the cilantro in there. That's going to give it a nice cilantro flavor to it, kind of like almost like a little bit of a Mexican flavor. I'm going to drop a little bit more curry in there. Flavor. Now we're going to drop our coconut milk. Like I said, you know, this is basically just the prep of it. You just leave it aside now and walk away from it. You can come back after work and then you got yourself your food all ready, and then you got enough for the next couple of days. I'm going to drop a can of coconut milk in there. It's going to give it a nice creamy texture. This is almost going to be like almost like a cream type of stew with curry in it. So okay guys, so now we're gonna take our meat and our sofrito that we had pre-made and put it into our stew here with our vegetables, and drop that in there like that. Leave that cooking. You want to basically, like I said, use up, you know, your whole pot. You don't want to make, you know, 1 or 2 servings and then use all this time. If you're going to prep, you might as well prep the whole entire. And this is going to simmer out, so you're going to lose some of the liquid. It's going to condense itself, so fill it up nice, and then, like I said, it's going to lose some of the liquid to evaporation. We'll add some of the peppers and onions and flavoring in there with that garlic. And basically that's it. You have it set up, and I'm going to put this in a little, try and make this a little bit more level. The table here is kind of warped, so it's kind of going off to one side. But basically we have it right now. I have it set on low just because I have a little bit more control of it. I'm going to be here in the store, in the office, so I have it on high so it cooks faster. This will be done in, you know, 3 or 4 hours. This will be already nice and blended through, and all the flavor will be, you know, done. It'll make a nice fusion together in 3 or 4 hours on high. If you cook it on low, it's even better. It'll actually be even more tender. and that will be more blended together, the flavors. So because I am at the store and I'm watching it, I have it set on high, so it'll be done in about 4 hours. If you set it on low, it'll be 6, 7, 8 hours, and if it cooks a little bit longer, it's fine. It's not going to burn the house down. You can leave it cooking in your house, and then, you know, come to work, and when you get home, it'll be ready for you. So this is like I said, it's a crock pot. You know, learn how to do this. Is a great skill and a great way of cooking for dieting. Okay, so basically here you have it finished. Our beef stew cooked in the crock pot with the coconut milk and curry seasoning, carrots and everything else. Very low carb, very healthy. You know, it's kind of like almost like a creamy type of base for the soup. The coconut milk does that, so it's actually great for like guys that are doing paleo diet or anything like that, paleolithic or any type of diets like that. Also, guys, remember to subscribe and comment below so we can keep this channel going and we keep bringing you new recipes and more health and fitness advice. Also, check out our new t-shirts, the indestructible ones. They're available at chestthatmuscle.com for $25. We also have a full line of athletic wear that will be coming out with more and more clothing throughout the upcoming weeks. This is the latest one that we have. Thank you for watching the video. Thank you for subscribing and liking. We appreciate all your support, and have a great day.